What's that?
So we're gonna get this event rolling. And I know you watching Raw right now.
You know what? I just turned it on. I'm fighting. I'm fighting a nice, wonderful bout with gout, and just got back from the hospital a little while ago, and matter of fact, just turned it on, watching Kevin Owens and Bobby Lashley right now.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Yeah, we about to go live.
All right.
As you can see, the red light is on. It's another Monday night, action-packed show here on the Flex Zone. A lot of moving parts, action-packed show. A lot of fun guests on tonight's episode. As always, we're live on our Facebook page. Only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. Like I said, the red light's on. We're live on the WBGR Sports page. Twitter, Instagram at the Flex Zone 1. You already know my name. A lot of special guests tonight. We'll get to that in a second. But first, get to the crew real quick. Uncle Raj, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, Byron? What's going on, crew? Can't wait to do this show.
Really, Neighborhood D?
Yes, indeed. There's no room in the window in this show tonight. As you're going to see our special guest here in a moment. But check us out on Facebook Live right now. WBGR Sports Network, as well as the Flex Zone.
Last but not least, the bar, Andre Melton.
I don't set the bar because I am the bar, the modern day Ric Flair, everything you wish you could be and every woman's dream. This is your boy, the Black American Dream, Drizzy Dre, Mr. One and Only in the building. What's good, everybody? Let's get this thing started.
Well, as we said, special guest, and shout out to D. Let's give D some love because I saw this today and I had to double take in a good way. So D, go ahead. It's your special guest. I'm going to let you take over and do your thing.
Well, you know this man here, he's a two-time podcast of the year. Him and Conrad Thompson, the Podfather, they're around the country, and they're coming next Monday night to Jimmy Seafood. And these guys right here, Bruce, know all about Jimmy Seafood, man. The one and only Brother Love, Bruce Prichard.
Come on, baby.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Bruce.
Well, what the hell is going on, guys? I'm looking forward to getting to Baltimore, but it's like the best thing in the whole wide world at Jimmy's Famous Seafood is the crab cakes. And right now, I'm battling a horrible case of gout, which you get from eating shellfish. So I'm trying to be good, but I may just go ahead and risk it when I'm there. What the hell?
There you go, Bruce, and hopefully you feel better, man, when you get here. Just want to talk about your success with the broadcast and then on the WWE Network. It's still the #1 rated show on the network, right?
Well, yeah, it's a little crazy, Ben, but I appreciate WWE reaching out and actually giving us an opportunity for people not just to listen to the podcast, but actually get to see us and help us out with a little video that only they can provide. So we kind of been talking for a while, and it's actually a reality right now, and it's called a little something else to wrestle with, and it's on the network on demand. Comes out, brand new show every single Wednesday. And so far, other than saying that F word that seems to be banned everywhere, they haven't really edited us too much.
Hey, man, there you go, man. The network and WWE always get a bad rap for having stuff edited out and stuff, but it's good to see you and Conrad doing your thing live and in living color, as the great Dusty Rhodes would say, right?
You know, see, I appreciate that you would actually say that. Conrad always gets on me and says, I don't understand what that means. And he's not old enough to understand what that means, because when you're promoting something and you were trying to tell folks back in the day, you got to understand a lot of people didn't have color TV. That was still a luxury, and people all they had was a little black and white. When you're talking about come on out and see us live and in living color, like the dream would let everybody know, get funky like a monkey.
Oh, boy.
Got experience at all, baby. Come on out when you can actually see us a little bit, get so close you can almost touch the dream, baby.
Oh, we always love a good Dusty Rhodes impression.
Guys?
Uncle Raj?
Bruce, you know, much success to your podcast, man. I just got to ask you, do you know when Hulk Hogan is actually going to come back to the WWE?
You know, I don't. I had no idea, man. Look, you know, I sure as hell hope so. I think that people screw up, people make mistakes, man. And he's actually, crazy thing is, he actually listens to our show and tweeted out about how much he liked the show that we did recently on the Mega Powers. But but I think only time will tell, and hopefully, time will heal wounds, and everybody can move on. But you can't ignore, you can't ignore the reality of the situation.
Right.
And it's he's got to address it, he's got to face it, and hopefully everybody can move on.
Bruce, man, I gotta ask you, what were your thoughts about the Andre the Giant documentary?
I thought they did a good job with it. It was the whole story of the giant and his life and having to live life every day as a giant. I thought it was a compelling one, and I thought they did a pretty damn good job of being able to go out and tell that story and not just talk about his wrestling accomplishments, but be able to talk about, what it was like to be 7'4" in a world of normal people, and even in the land of the giants, Andre was a giant. And I thought they did a pretty good story about telling the struggles that he had every single day.
Now, do you think that there's going to be another wrestling documentary, and if so, about who?
Well, I know that Viceland is doing quite a few, and they just got to go ahead to do, I was interviewed for about 5 or 6 different ones, man. They came down here and spent several days with me and covered a lot of different topics, from Elizabeth to Tino Hernandez, the Von Erichs, Montreal Screwjob. There's a lot being done in that genre right now, and I think that we're going to be seeing a whole lot of those, maybe even too many, come fall.
Now, also, I know they had the Ric Flair documentary. Now, with that one, do you felt like it should have been a 3-parter, or they did the right thing just keeping it at just one set documentary?
Well, if you're gonna do it, sometimes, man, you got to do it with warts and all. And I felt that's how the Sports Illustrated 30 people went after it. They went after it. There was a lot of stuff that you just can't ignore. And I found going through life that it's easier to just address things and move on. And I find that people will forgive you if you own up to your mistakes and you actually make an effort to right your wrongs. I think people forgive you, and I think that Rick is the fact that he damn near died a year ago. Pretty much, I think he's paid for a lot of that. And I think he's serious about being on the right path right now.
Well, we have Bruce Prichard from Something to Wrestle With here on the Flex Zone tonight. And Bruce, what's your thoughts, man? The big meme right now with Titus O'Neil falling under the ring. Your thoughts, Mike Quick, and imitation of Vince McMahon having that moment over in Saudi Arabia.
Oh my God! I saw it happen live, and I felt so sorry for him. However, at the same time, that could make his career, and that could be one of those moments that they can replay forever and make him a bigger star than he already is. And I don't know if any of you guys know Titus, but Titus is one of the classiest and best guys of this new bunch that I have met so far, and I've had the opportunity to talk to him several times over the last, I guess, year or so. And he's a class act all the way. I don't think it's going to hurt him. I think, if anything, done right, Titus has the ability to laugh at himself, and hopefully he'll make a lot out of it.
Bruce, what did you think about the Greatest Royal Rumble?
Well, you know what? It was long.
Yeah, boy.
Man, I thought WrestleMania was long, and then I tried to watch the Greatest Royal Rumble, but it was a hell of a spectacle, and just watching it, they delivered a hell of a show, and putting as many people as they did in that big stadium is an impressive feat. I don't care who you are, but it was, overall, I thought it was a good show. It was a normal WWE show. My opinion, man, my thoughts, I just think that they need to maybe do shorter shows. I think less is more,
Now, moving forward, also with the big pay-per-views, it has been like that. The Royal Rumble, WrestleMania is an event, a whole day event of itself. What is your suggestion to make it shorter but enjoyable for fans?
You know what? I think that you do like we used to do, and you make some marquee matches, and you present them in a time frame that makes sense. If everybody on the roster is on the card, after a while, the card isn't special anymore, because you're seeing the same guys you're seeing every Monday and Tuesday night, and I don't know. It just I think they need to give some guys a rest, and they need to make the time that they do have for these special events special. So it's just tough, and I guess maybe because of the streaming service and the network, that they feel that people are not necessarily paying for it. You pay a $9.99 a month, and you get a ton of stuff, like something else to wrestle with Bruce Prichard.
Hey.
Nice plug.
Nice.
Hey, yes, sir.
On Wednesday,
Cheap pop.
brand new show every Wednesday. But I think that they feel that they're going to give those people their money's worth.
Now, I do have to, while we do have you here, could you ever see the King of the Ring pay-per-view returning?
Yeah, you never know, but it may be something that's just going to be special for the network, and I think that that's something that they'll do. But then again, it may be something they just leave on TV.
Now, Bruce, back to the podcast. Now, I know your favorite subject was Houston wrestling because of your time there. But what's your second favorite subject? And don't say yourself coming up in 2 weeks.
Why the hell not? Man, you just took everything away from me.
Don't take it away from me.
Huh?
Believe it or not, I enjoyed the hell out of the RVD episode that we did. Whatever, last week, 2 weeks ago, the 420 episode. We got into it and just reminiscing about some of the fun stuff with Rob. That one was a blast. That was a lot of fun to cover.
Well, remember, Triple H just pedigreed to RVD again, but
Oh boy.
we'll leave that alone.
Wow.
Well, you know.
You know.
You know, just don't walk across the street.
Oh boy.
Man, Bruce, Mike, quick, your favorite superstars of this new era right now. You're a Roman Reigns guy. Well, we ain't getting no booze in here, right? We ain't getting no booze.
No booze.
No.
I am a Roman Reigns guy, but I'm a big Bray Wyatt guy, and I think Bray Wyatt has Megastar written all over him.
Do you what do you see as the reason as to why they haven't pushed Bray Wyatt? Because I mean, it's always I'm a Bray Wyatt guy too, and when he finally won the championship and said he had the whole damn world in his hands, I was looking at my TV clapping for the guy because I've been rooting for him. But why do you think when he's such a good worker, and he just can't seem to get that push that he so well deserves?
I think it's just timing, and the timing will be right, and if there's enough of a groundswell from the audience, man, they won't be able to deny him again. And it's just like Undertaker. Undertaker had a long road there before he was the man, and that's how I see Bray Wyatt. I see Bray Wyatt eventually being the man from this bunch.
Now, speaking of The Undertaker, we were speaking offline and we said that Braun Strowman right now kind of reminds us of Undertaker from 92 to 96, where he's very over and popular with the fans. However, even though we feel like he should have a title run, it's not the right timing yet for him to get the belt. Do you agree with that comparison?
He doesn't need the championship right now. He really doesn't, man. He's a big bastard that people are behind, and give it some time. I think that would hurt him right now, because then what the hell do you do with him?
I agree. I like the Matt Hardy thing, man. I know people up here don't.
Come on,
but
D.
Delete.
That's right. I like it.
But Matt Hardy, the way he invents himself, I know you talked about it before with him being version 1. I know how proud you are, Matt, man. Just tell us a little bit more about him, man.
Well, Matt is one of those guys. It's funny that everybody always thought that Matt was the brains and that Jeff was the talent. But as time went on, Matt really kind of came out and saw that, he had talent as well. And especially with the whole Logan Matt Hardy thing, I think completely rejuvenated his career and let everybody know that he's a player and he's a main event guy. And I think that Matt Hardy is doing an excellent job, man. I love to see guys like Matt and Jeff that as kids wanted to be in the wrestling business, and that's all they wanted to do, and actually realize their dreams.
Now we gotta ask you this now. Now, when the bell rings,
Oh boy.
which person you see right now in the roster, and you say, don't quite see it yet.
Well, hey, I'm on WWE Network right now, as a matter of fact, talking all about our show this week with Shawn Michaels. That's pretty cool.
There you go.
But of somebody right now that I think is just kind of missing in the ring, I get a lot of the young talent. I hate to really knock any of the new young talent, but sometimes there's a little bit of a disconnect. I did not understand. I didn't get the fascination with Sasha Banks. I think that she's a hell of an athlete, and I think that she's going to be a hell of a worker. But there's some things that she would do, and I guess more than anything, it wasn't so much her in-ring work as it was trying to get more personality out of her. And she stuck in her gimmick, but I didn't see any more than the gimmick. That's what I was looking for. I'd like to see just a little bit more from her. And I know that she has the talent because everybody I've talked to just raves about her. So I know she's got it. I just haven't seen it yet.
Bruce, me and Roger just kind of have a still face, but one of our friends from the wrestling realm, he would definitely agree with you about what you just said about Sasha Banks. I love me some Sasha Banks.
Me too.
And some other women such as Nia Jax.
Oh yeah.
Amber Moon right now.
And Charlotte.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Charlotte can't.
Wait. Ember Moon to me is going to be a megastar. Y'all don't like Ember Moon?
Yes.
We were just naming some other women that we love, such as we were just naming some of the other ones.
I mean, Bruce, they might have went to Women's R Us, right?
We also felt like at WrestleMania, we felt like that Charlotte and Asuka could have main evented the card.
Without a doubt, and I think that you take some of those the female athletes that they've got right now, and hell yeah, they can. They just need stories, and they need time to develop their character and get their personalities out there. And there's no reason at all. And God forbid it actually draw and do better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
That would be eye-opening and awakening, because I'm sure that there are segments when they're on that, man, if I'm flipping channels on TV, I'm going to stay and watch that.
Yeah, very, very quick, Bruce. I know we got to let you go here, but quickly, Ronda Rousey, man, her impact in the women's division.
Well, let me say this. I thought that her debut at WrestleMania was one of the best debuts from a, quote, outsider, but it's kind of hard to label Ronda as an outsider because she's been around the business her whole life. She's been a fan of it, but there's somebody, when the bell rang, she knew what the hell she was doing. She looked good in the ring. She didn't embarrass herself. And to have her a part of the women's division only gives it all that much more credibility. And that may be what they need to get it out there to the next level.
Well, pretty quick, Bruce, needs you to hit all the hits, promote the show, and the great show that's coming Monday, the Jimmy Seafood.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. If you need tickets, man, just go to brucepritchard.com. That's the place to get tickets. And everything for our live events. But we're looking forward to coming to Baltimore and go to the live show. And then right afterwards, we're going to watch Monday Night Raw live.
Awesome.
Sounds like a
There
good
you
time.
go, man.
Make sure you get that steak, too, Bruce.
Real quick, Bruce, I have one last question to ask you. I know we do have to let you go, but I couldn't let you go without asking this question. What do you think about managers in the state of wrestling right now, being that they're not really out there like that? The only one that comes to mind from the main card is Paul Heyman right now.
He's an advocate.
I think the only one there. But to me, they're sorely missed. And to me, great manager can enhance an average talent, and even an average manager can enhance a great talent. And I think that they are sorely missed to have a mouthpiece and somebody to enhance a talent that may not have all the most color in the world and may not have all that personality. You give a manager to them, and it may give them the personality and the color that they're lacking.
Definitely a fact. Thanks again, Bruce, for joining us, man. Hope to have you back on soon. Hope you feel better. And
all right, guys. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. We pulled this together last minute. I'm glad we did.
yes,
Well,
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You knew what to do when the bell rung.
Yes, you're family now, and you're always more than welcome.
Yes,
Come
sir.
back.
Tell Conrad we said hello, and
Great one.
don't get off them podcasts.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy. You guys gotta go, man. Take care.
Thanks, Bruce.
All right.
Hey, Bruce.
Thank you.
Take care now.
The one and only Bruce Prichard, fellas. D,
Yeah.
can't thank you enough, brother.
Good job, man. Good
You
job.
did it again,
Hey,
D.
you know.
Good job, brother.
Lightning strikes twice.
Oh boy.
Sweet.
Well, we're gonna take a quick break. Before we get a break, Uncle Raj, I want to get your quick thoughts on the Ravens draft. You know, we're gonna switch out next segment. Just real quick, 30 seconds.
Oh, the Ravens, they had a wonderful draft. You know, props to Ozzie Newsome again. He got 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Lamar Jackson will be the new Ravens quarterback in about 1 to 2 years. Look out for
Maybe
him.
halfway through the season.
About to say.
Nah, not quite. But he'll be there soon. You know, Joe, hopefully you go out on top too. But props to Ozzie. Ravens all the way.
And with that being said, we're gonna take a quick break. We got Cavante. We got another special guest here on the Flex Zone talking NFL draft right here on WBGR.
Y'all come back here.
Really? You come back here? You sound like somebody.
Talk about.
Hey, Justina.
Oh, hey, yeah, you know Justina is.
Oh, yeah.
Justina.
All right, we are back live on the Flex Zone on WBGR. You hear all the papers crinkling. You see all the movement up here to my far. Who's on my left today?
Yeah.
It's
a little different.
It's a little different. A little different.
But the captain of the goofy ship, hopefully the Redskins weren't goofy in this draft. We'll get to that in a second. Cavante,
Yep.
was it a good weekend for you? Thumbs up, thumbs down. 2 thumbs up! Oh, wow!
There wasn't no goofiness.
Didn't expect that.
I mean, I did.
Well, he was at Broadway. So.
Well, before we get to all that
Hey,
goofiness,
That's a one right there.
we have a very special guest. And I'm more of letting people introduce themselves because who can tell it better than they can? Shout out to Dre, bringing another friend of the show.
I call him the second coming.
Oh, wow.
My mentee.
Not Ben Simmons? I thought Ben Simmons was.
I mean,
He called him the savior.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this guy.
He
This
called
guy
him
is
the
pretty
savior.
much the savior. I mean, he saved my butt a couple times. I like to introduce y'all, ladies and gentlemen, to Isiah George.
How you doing, everybody?
what's going
Thank you. Pleasure to be on the show. And I'm a sports analyst for WEA, so I was on a couple shows there. The NWA, where I was able to analyze certain things with Cavante and Dre on the show. And also, I was hosted a halftime show for Morgan State men's and women's basketball games on WEA. So
Oh, yeah,
right.
With
That's
the great Lamar Germany. Yes.
right.
yes, the great
Just only if y'all can have a few more wins. But how can they keep up with you?
Blow.
We don't hold blows back here. How can they keep up with you though? For all your great sports knowledge.
All right, so you can find me on Twitter at _ man of the hour, and on Instagram, same thing, but just an extra underscore.
So I just got a feeling you're a Redskins fan.
Yes, I am.
Wizards too.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Cavante, you can take that damn hat off, by the way.
Sam?
That's right. You throw it at the camera. That's right. That's right. Everybody.
Base
throw it
their
away.
ass.
Especially Drake and the baby dinosaurs.
Wow.
But we'll get to that in a second. Isiah, I'm gonna start with you. Draft.
You
happened
better
this
start
past-
with him.
Draft happened this past Thursday. Redskins, we'll start with your team. Any other winners, losers, any other thoughts on the draft? Floor is yours, brother.
The Redskins. I liked the first pick. That was a really solid pick. It was a safe pick. Daron Payne, he's really good when it comes to stuff in the run. But pass rushing numbers aren't necessarily there, but we don't really need him for that because we have Ryan Kerrigan. We're getting John Fallon back. We have Preston Smith. So we have those pass rushers on the outside. But he does a really good job. He will do a good job for us in stopping the run. But he is one-dimensional. But having Jim Talsula coaching the defensive line, I think that helps and help his development. The second round is the pick that a lot of people are loving. I'm iffy about because of the flags that we've seen on Darius Geis. Coming out of LSU, his first 2 years, he had Leonard Fournette on the team. So obviously his numbers would look a lot better because Fournette is always going to wear the other team down. Geis gets in, his numbers looks really good. The 1 year that he didn't have Fournette, which was last year, his numbers went down. He got injured a lot. Teams loaded the box. He couldn't really do anything. So his numbers weren't as great, but the potential was there. And then the off-field concerns with the visits with teams, especially the Eagles.
I need more information. I want more information.
I wanted more information on the situation, too. Supposedly there was a shouting match between him and Eagles personnel. And, it just doesn't look good. It looks like, he may have some maturity problems. But a lot of rookies do. So hopefully that'll pan out. He definitely has a chance to start. Looking at our running back roster, our roster right now, you have Rob Kelly, who he's had injury. He can't really take the position right now, at least the starting position. Samaje Perine, he's been there a year, but didn't really show too much to have that starting role. And Chris Thompson, who we know for the last couple of years can play, but we can't use him as an every down back. So he definitely has a chance to start, but it's up to his work ethic and how much he matures during this year.
Do we have a letter grade? I know it's way too soon, but
for the Skins draft, I would give it a B-. I'd give it a B- because in the next round with the third round pick, the offensive lineman from Louisville, big guy, like I think 298 pounds. He's very athletic, but it's like he's raw when it comes to his blocking ability. You can still see problems in his technique. So that seemed like a reach when we definitely could have gotten a corner. We ended up getting a corner from Virginia Tech later in the 6th round. So, that was good.
We love those guys.
Yeah, we love those Virginia Tech guys. There's the Kendall Fuller, who was great, but we ended up trading him. But I think it's a B- because you filled holes, but that one pick in the third round I believe was really a reach because he was athletic, but just the technique isn't there for him to be a third round pick.
Well, Justina, she's commented. She said that she loves the fact that the Redskins now have Alex Smith as their quarterback.
Talk to me in about December when you're about 3 games out. You don't want
to win.
Talk to me around Halloween. See how I feel about that. I loved our first 2 picks. Byron, we've talked.
Oh, I know you was jumping up.
As soon as the college football championship was over, I was like, I want him. Right. I want him as a Redskin. But as the draft was going,
we know who you really wanted though.
I was like, dang, Derwin James still on the board.
Would you say run up there with the?
I said run. I said run, don't walk.
Yeah, that's right. You give it to him.
But they still picked Daron Payne. I'm assuming they had the same draft grade, so it's like, all right, at this point, toss it up. Which one's the better need at this point? And they picked Daron Payne, which was cool with me. Another Alabama kid. We actually picked up 2. Darius Geis, obviously first round talent. Get him at number 59.
It's a steal.
It's a steal. And Virginia Tech, Tim Settle. I heard good things about him. Very underrated guy. He's gonna have to somehow fit his way into the rotation with Tom Sula. But if we could fit him into the rotation, our D line goes from a weakness to pretty solid. And we were 32nd we were about 33rd out of 32 teams. I think when it came to the run, right. And we were pretty bad. We god awful.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Is like, I definitely wanted Derwin James too, but looking at what we need the most, we definitely needed to improve the run defense. And when you look at, we have Josh Norman already. We do need another corner beside him who's going to have that at least semi-star potential, right? That like we had with Kendall Fuller before we traded him. But when you look at the safety position, Swearinger has showed that he's capable of holding down that starting position. And the other safety, whether that's DeSager Everett or one of the guys we drafted last year, Fish Smithson or somebody else. Nicholson. I think we'll be okay when it comes to the secondary, but we definitely needed to shore up the defense.
I agree. Definitely agree. Love the Virginia Tech kid, has a good potential. But Mr. Relevant,
I was about to ask you about that.
Hey,
It's one of the more.
I like what I see.
Oh, he's very relevant.
He's very relevant.
He's relevant. He's relevant.
I like what I
He's
see. Me and Isaiah were talking off air, and we were saying that we're not going to see him at wide receiver, but he could be a return guy and he could be a good special teams player and anything to help this team. It was god awful last year. Do better. Before I had to get a Redskins hat and throw that.
So y'all ain't gonna be awful again this year?
Oh yeah, we're probably gonna be 8-8, 7-9. It's not looking at the schedule. It's not looking really good, and everybody like pretty much got better. And Zeke being out most of the year, the Cowboys were up and down. But I'm looking at about.
Face another.
So you see
running
8-8
back.
post draft? Isaiah, do you have a bold prediction? You see better than 8-8? You jumping out there, or you stand?
No, because I know for a fact when the Alex Smith situation happened that one, he's not the quarterback of the future. He's not going to see that whole contract because he's only there to fill a slot for maybe a year or so until we actually find that quarterback of the future. So I think 8-8 is really our ceiling for this coming up season.
That hurts to say.
division's tough once again, man. It's all three teams today. I know you said Byron Dallas didn't do as well as you thought.
They were my loser of the draft.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I would be pissed if I'm a Cowboys fan right now.
listen, I was thinking because in my mock draft I had Darius Guys going to the Eagles at 32,
Lord.
and that would have been crazy because we would have had to see Zeke, Saquon Barkley,
Ooh.
and then Darius Guys.
Yes.
But luckily the Eagles didn't want to be there.
For obvious reasons.
For obvious
Right.
reasons. They was
Right.
like, we don't want
Appreciate that.
nothing to do with this pick, and we ended up picking Darius Guys, so which was also good. So now we actually got a running back that could be somewhat formidable compared to the other guys. But speaking of the 32nd pick, Baltimore Ravens.
How about it, man?
Good
I
segue.
loved it.
Still at the draft.
I
Got
loved
a
it.
quarterback. D, your thoughts?
You know, I thought the Ravens did well. We always complain the Ravens never go up and get anybody. But they came back in the first round, got on that phone, hollered at Philadelphia. They had to give up next year's second round, a couple picks this year, but got Lamar Jackson. He's going to be in development for a year, maybe 2 years even. Comes back out, he's going to look great. The two tight ends they got,
Andrews and Hurst.
magnificent.
I'm excited.
Orlando Brown. you
Hurst
know.
only dropped one pass in his college career.
Can you believe that?
One pass.
That's incredible there.
I like the Orlando Brown pickup for you guys.
Yeah.
Ooh, that
Second
could be a steal.
generation Raven, by the way.
Could be a steal if he's right. We'll see this minicap.
Yes,
Minicap's
Justina.
all right.
Yes, Lamar. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Now,
I
Dre,
agree.
I know you were
man.
happy. You've been saying it all weekend. I saw you Friday. You were happy. You still smiling.
Man.
That's great.
You got on your Louisville colors. You good?
Oh, yeah, he do. I didn't notice that he do.
I just.
Or was there Alabama? Because we got a couple.
Hey, look, you roll
you
tide. You
know
got a
I-
couple Alabama players too, baby.
You know what I see in there. We gonna have some.
Go.
There you go.
Tide.
That's right,
Listen, I tell you, I've never seen so much emotion from Ravens fans.
We're excited for
Why-
once.
But
Yeah.
but as it was going, it was like, oh, if he trade down one more time. Because I was texting one of my good friends and coworkers, Devin. Big up to Devin. He was like, yo, what is Ozzy doing? He better not trade down again, because like, he keeps trading down, we're not getting better because we're not getting any
I
players.
swear.
But he moved down, moved up, got a pretty good tight end, and got Lamar Jackson. I was like, you won a pretty good win.
He
What was
moved. He
it?
moved every day of the draft.
I swear it had to be like 250 messages between all of us during the
Try it
draft.
again.
But I mean, the fact that we were able to get him the future quarterback, get Fluco up out of there.
We still got a
You
year,
know,
Dre. Still
he
got a
does.
year.
He does have a year, but he's
Okay.
past his prime. Don't look, Uncle Raj. Don't you give me that look. You know he's Fluco out here. Come on. What has he done since he's won that Super Bowl? Not a
And his
damn
They bet about
defense,
average. They bet
He
about
should
average.
be about as healthy as he's been the last 3 years. If he don't get it done this year, it's time to.
Well, how many more chances are we going to give him in Harbaugh?
Oh, this is it, because we can get rid of
That's
him.
it.
All the
That's
money
it.
has gone into this year.
Before
Good.
we move on to the Ravens, I do have to ask, if you didn't get that Lamar Jackson pick, right, and you were just stuck with that Hayden Hurst in the first, would you be so okay with that pick? Because you guys had a need for receiver, because it's not guaranteed that the Crabtree, Snead, and John Brown thing is actually going to work out past this year. So would you been okay with that that pick, if that was your only pick in the first, because I heard a lot of Ravens fans mumbling about it when it first
I
happened.
would have been okay being that was one of our needs, definitely. And like you said, I mean, you get a couple people in free agency, but still you want those people in the draft to develop those young boys, see how they can mix in, especially for the future. Being that the Ravens, we've had an issue with wide receiver. I mean, you can name these guys on like a handful, like Anquan Bolden. Back in the day when you had Jermaine Lewis, you know, I mean, most of our offenses come from tight ends, such as Todd Heap and Shannon Sharp.
Guy only dropped one pass. You ain't first thing you gotta do is catch the football. He can catch the ball. He can block. He's.
I mean, what else do you need out of it?
Right.
And then we get Jordan Lashley from UCLA. Josh Rosen's go-to guy. I know he had a little trouble off the field, but I think he put it behind him.
Yeah,
could be big time.
Kenny Young.
Wait a minute. Oh, Justina did say Torrey Smith. No, I'm sorry, Justina. I can't give you Torrey Smith.
No. You do. Hey, he's been successful. No. We can give him.
He's having a pretty good career.
In the words of my fellow colleague here at WBGR, that dude drops more passes than he drops panties.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
And Rod says, "Be respectful to Joe." Well, we'll be respectful.
Oh, be respectful to Fluco. Okay.
But I hope they do use Lamar Jackson. I already said the Ravens were going to be 10-6. You get Willie Snead, you get Crabtree, you get John Brown.
I'm not going to go that
Okay, so
I already had it that way.
Who did terrible?
Cowboys.
The Raiders.
The 49ers.
The New Orleans Saints.
Jumping up for Davenport.
How do you reach? Now, listen. Reaching is one thing. You traded up. Gave the first.
I thought they were going for Lamar Jackson.
I was like, they getting Lamar. They definitely getting Lamar.
No.
Traded up. Gave a first-round pick
for a situational pass rusher
to the Packers. The Packers came out thieves. Matter of fact, the Packers came out really well because
the bad man robs again.
Because they got Alexander from Louisville,
and the receiver from Notre Dame,
and then they got Josh Jackson, and they got Josh Jackson from. They got 2 starting corners,
and they got underrated receiver who I wanted to take,
and a pick next year, and an extra first-round pick yet next year.
I think the Packers won this draft because, like you said, you have Josh Jackson from Iowa, who's a physical corner. He showed you all the traits that you want out of a corner. And then Jair Alexander in Louisville, who his technique is phenomenal.
Crazy.
He is a monster on the field, and they needed to upgrade that defense, especially that secondary. They gave up, I know, Randall to the Browns this offseason, so they lost another corner in that. So they definitely needed that. And then Equanimeous St. Brown, in the 6th round.
Yeah,
6'5".
I can't believe he dropped that from.
And it's because of the injuries that he had at Notre Dame. But when he was on the field, he was productive.
Had no quarterback.
He had no quarterback.
Had 2 years, he didn't.
And whenever he was on the field, he was able to produce. He has the size, the ability, all the technique that you want out of a wide receiver. He was a steal in the 6th round. I think the Packers won the draft.
Seattle Seahawks.
We're coming.
D. Blow the whistle, baby.
We're coming, baby. We're coming. We're back.
10-6.
Yeah.
We're back.
10-6.
Yeah,
We're back.
Another good luck. How many leads do you have?
That's
This
right.
one is okay. It's not you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
We're coming back.
Ladies, for the view in public.
back.
For the view in public. Can you hold that up?
Look. That's a good luck. Hey, look. It's even ESPN zone.
No, that's what I was going to allude to.
right.
Ladies and gentlemen, look how
That's right.
old this thing is. It
That's
says
right. Good luck.
ESPN zone on
Good
it.
luck.
It's older than D.
Cravante, you were talking about the Seahawks. They get Shaquem Griffin.
Terrible.
Terrible?
Terrible draft early on because they didn't address any of their needs. Like, the offensive line is terrible. Oh, what's that?
Oh, we got a call.
What?
To the hotline. The hotline's hot.
Line 1?
Welcome, caller.
What?
That's it. Welcome to the Flex Zone.
How you guys doing? I think I have my cue.
Hey, Jerome. Hey, look. I got something to tell you. Look, the Patriots are winners. Sonny Michel is going to be better than Saquon Barkley.
I hate
They got Isaiah Wynn, Brady, and Belichick. They're going back to the chip. Don't fear, baby. You got Michel. He's going to be like Alvin Kamara out there. He's going to be better than Barkley. Barkley is
I
overrated.
hate him.
Whoa.
Wait. Barkley is
Michel is
You
good,
high.
but that's not.
not
Barkley.
better than
Jerome, you go ahead. Don't care what they say.
Remember, Michelle got knee issues, man.
You know, brother, I'm happy that you finally turned the new leaf. You've seen the light.
Dude, God. He hasn't never. He's on.
I've always been Team Brady.
You know, I'm glad we're on the same page here.
Oh,
You know, we
Jesus.
going back to the ship.
That's right. And get it done this time.
Look, I agree with you that y'all are going back to the chip, but better than Saquon though. I can't.
Put on the tape.
That's a reach.
Put on that college
That's a
football
reach.
playoff. Every time he touched that ball.
That's a reach.
He was good. He was good. I definitely wanted the Red. I definitely wanted the Redskins to pick him.
I like Joe better.
That Sonny's going to run behind a better O-line and have a better quarterback. So you're not going to stack the box on Brady.
I agree.
So you might take that chance with Eli. So I think skill-wise, even though Saquon may be slightly better skill-wise, Sony's definitely in the better position to succeed.
I don't know if that's the case though, because you look at the Giants, still having Odell. You load the box if you want to, and Odell will.
Oh yeah.
Definitely crush you, and I mean, even if he doesn't,
will.
you're gonna have to give him extra attention, which open up possibilities for Shepard and the other wide receivers that they have. So I mean, I think Saquon went to a really good place, and so did Sony Michel, just because of how the Patriots run their offense. But I still think Saquon Barkley is the best running back in this class.
Well, wait a minute. You said Shepard. Well, he's not Shepard. He's Shepard. Marcellus, the baseman Shepard, weighed in, and he said, "Why did the Eagles select a rugby player with no American football experience named Jordan? Was it
Malata?
Malata.
Well, they're the Eagles, and Howie Roseman is somehow.
They do whatever they want. They just want a
The
Super
Eagles
Bowl.
fine.
They do whatever they want.
Jerron, I'm sorry to cut you off, brother. Go ahead. So y'all going back to the chip?
We'll be fine too, by the way.
We'll go back to this shit, but let me pick it back off the New York Giants thing real quick. Odell's still a threat, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why I say that Sony would have a way better season statistically is because it's one thing to play with the lead and then one thing to play from behind. So the Giants will probably be playing from behind most of the season. They're going to have to air it out. Whereas with the Patriots, a lot of times we're playing with the lead comfortably, so we're going to run the ball. So I think Saquon's actually going to get less, I don't think he's going to get less carries, but again, he's going to be on a team that's not as good as the Patriots. I think he'll be playing from behind a lot of times, so his numbers won't look as good as Sony. But we'll go back to the ship. But I think there's one team that stands in our way, and it's going to be a team that no one is worried about, but I'm definitely worried about.
Who's this team?
Okay, Jerron, do I know this team?
You definitely know. I think I hinted towards you what the team was.
I believe it's the Titans.
The Tennessee Titans.
No, come on, stop. No. I don't believe in Mariota.
Those edge rushers that they
No,
got.
I don't believe in Mariota.
Listen. Jerron hit me on Facebook a couple days
Don't knock
ago.
the Titans. Don't knock
They had
I'm
4 picks the entire draft and hit on all 4 of them, especially the first 2. Especially the first 2.
Here's the sick part. Marcus Mariota, for what it's worth, he's not a bad quarterback. And when he's healthy, he's definitely serviceable, right? You got Derrick Henry at running back. But the thing is, they have a defense now. People recognize they have 2 starting quarterbacks who won Super Bowls. You have Logan Ryan and Malcolm Butler, who know each other. They play together on the Patriots. Were very successful.
Malcolm Butler gonna play? Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, Mike Vrabel gonna play him.
Oh, ain't no doubt.
I'm still waiting for
So
him to show up.
you have that whole Patriot system over there with Mike Vrabel. You have Malcolm Butler. You have Logan Ryan. On offense, you add Deion Lewis from the Patriots.
Yeah.
This team is built to beat you 17-10, 10-3. They can do it with that defense. And they did nothing but in the draft but added more just juggernauts to that defense. It was almost like overkill.
It's crazy, but only with 4 picks though.
Only 4 picks. They hit on all 4.
I'm taking the field. Jerron, I appreciate you. They're going back to the chip. Continue calling in. Like I said, tell people put on the tape of Barkley playing Ohio State. He ain't Zeke. He ain't Fournette. Michelle did it in a college football playoff. Appreciate you, Jerron. Speaking that knowledge.
And NBA-wise, let's go LeBron. Let's go LeBron.
Oh, God.
You know what?
He had to slide that in there.
Don't worry.
I'm glad you said that. Trust me.
And
I'm gonna make them all witnesses, and they all gonna
Well, we
tune
gonna
in to the
witness-
King.
we gonna
to the
witness
King
LeBron
game
Al.
version.
I can't wait.
Al's coming.
Thank you, Jerron.
Only matter of time.
And I guess it's
But
it is time to.
wait, one more thing before we jump into the NBA. Any winners in the draft?
What'd you say?
Winners of the NFL draft. Winners.
You said winners of the draft?
Winners.
Winners.
But besides the Titans, because we already established that. Any other winners?
Besides the Titans, I'm gonna go. I actually think the Browns did very good for themselves.
They did.
Yeah.
They did.
Outside of that first pick? Outside of that first pick, it was solid.
Wait a minute, you don't like Baker Mayfield?
Not at number 1.
They did
Not at
they
1.
chose the wrong quarterback again.
I think they went the wrong order, but whatever. but
I do like the Callaway pick.
He's got intangibles.
I like the Callaway pick. Stay off the weed. He's gonna be a beast.
Look,
Broncos, yo.
man.
Denver Broncos.
Oh my.
Broncos
Bradley Chubb. And
Oh,
that
my,
ran
look
five.
out.
That was.
Don't worry, Case Keenum's still the quarterback. But hey,
That is
it's
true.
all, it's all
I mean-
good.
Listen, hey, they won with a lackey Peyton Manning, so I'm just saying.
Hey, he ain't no Peyton Manning. I'll take Peyton Manning where he was at over Case Keenum. Thank you, Jordan. I
agree. I
appreciate
take the
it.
noodle arm of Pay.
No, most definitely, man. Thank
Take
you.
that noodle
All
arm.
right, that's right. Keep hope
All
alive,
right, bro.
All right.
All right now.
Hey,
Keep hope alive for LeBron. He's going home soon.
Oh.
oh, whatever, man.
Hold on.
Yo,
Rouse rated.
Keep listening, Jerron.
Shout out to my boy Roz watching.
Yeah.
My guy, let's go, Brian.
Yeah, he's talking about the Seahawks saying Rashad Penny was a reach. I agree.
Yeah, he was reaching.
Oh yeah, Panthers definitely a winner with DJ Moore. I agree with that. Bears
without a doubt.
getting Roquan. I agree with that. Tampa getting Ronald Jones the third. That was a steal as well. So
Yes, it
definitely
is.
agree with some of
Trojan,
those.
baby. Trojan.
Yeah. Donald in New York, baby.
Not the
Have
Jets.
fun with
Long
that.
New York. Long New
But
York.
real quick, we gotta get to this NBA. Go ahead, Dre. Talk about LeBron.
Talk about LeBron. Come on.
That's a nasty segue. That was terrible because what we about to hear is terrible.
Because I have to let him
He had
do
to,
it.
he had to stand up. He had
But-
to stand up for this. Oh,
Ladies
my
and
God.
gentlemen, he does it again, baby.
Really? Really?
King James. I told you. Game 7.
You want
Was
one?
there ever any doubt? You get that up out of here. Was there ever any doubt that
Goofy.
this man, the greatest NBA player of our generation, was there ever any
Goofy.
doubt that he would do it?
Goofy.
He came through.
Goofy.
He did what he was supposed to do.
Goofy.
Don't you interrupt me
Goofy.
when I'm talking about the
Goofy.
great LeBron James.
Goofy.
Look at this. Everybody's a witness. Because guess what? He's going to the finals.
We witnessed him
There's
going
no
7
dispute
games with
about
the
this.
Indiana Pacers. Can you believe that? The Indiana Pacers.
Come on, what are you talking about? This
Didn't they
is-
sweep the Indiana Pacers last
this
year?
is probably the hardest road that LeBron James
Oh,
has ever
my
had
Lord.
in his quest to go to the NBA Finals. But guess what? He's going to do it. He's going to the NBA
And then
Finals,
he's
ladies
going,
and gentlemen.
and if he
Yes,
does
I
make
said
it, he's going to get swept by Houston or Golden State.
He's not going
The
to get
broom
swept.
is coming out.
He's not going to get swept.
He's going to
When
pass
does
out. He said he was tired yesterday at the press conference.
He
He
was
did say-
tired, but guess
He's
what? He
tired.
dug down deep, and he did what he needed
He
to
keep
do
digging.
to get
He
this
keep
team
digging that
over the
hole.
hump.
When you go on these rants about LeBron,
Keep
like,
digging
do
that
you
hole.
believe the stuff that's coming out?
Brother,
Nah, he don't.
brother, I'm a witness.
Remember,
I'm right
he
here.
watched WWE like we do. He don't.
I'm a witness.
He's
What are you
working.
talking
He's
about?
working.
He
He's
is a
working.
witness. He is a witness.
No Dre like the reach, right?
He's
Look, was there was never no doubt. It was
know that.
it was such a shot over doubt that I didn't even have to turn my TV on. I said, LeBron got it. You got it. Let me, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little homework. I bet I'm gonna get a text. LeBron came through, and guess what he did? I turned in for the last couple minutes, and LeBron came through, because that's what he does.
Actually, his team actually came through.
No. This is
In the
this
fourth
is
quarter.
a
I'm saying the
leader.
fourth quarter.
There's a reason he still
They
has
actually
to
played better
throw.
without him when he was back there making the phone
The
call.
only man I know, the only man I know.
think we're over at this kind
Yeah,
of
The only man I know in the
Yeah,
league
they're the Red,
who
Red,
doesn't
Red,
even
Red,
need a
Red,
chip,
Red.
but is still the king.
Goofy.
Still the king.
Goofy.
Yep, still
Goofy.
He is a king.
So Dre, you think they're going back to the
Goofy.
finals?
Oh yes. You think them young boys is ready? Them young boys ain't ready.
You gotta get by Drake first.
What?
man.
What young boys?
that's-
Drake got home court.
What young boys? The young boys that he got ain't ready.
it's only-
I'm
Yeah, they-
talking
they
I'm
not
talking
ready.
about.
That's
I'm
clear,
not
they
even
not
worried
ready.
about the Raptors. I already know what
I
it's going
wouldn't
to
be
come
either.
down
I
to.
would.
It's going to come down to the 76ers. And trust me,
Well,
They got
Celtics-
shellacked. They got
Celtics-
destroyed in game one. I don't know,
Hey,
man.
put some respect on Brad Stevens. He's the best coach in the
He
NBA.
is. He is.
Yes.
He is.
but I
You gotta give
mean,
him credit.
look,
He's
yeah.
lost.
They-
He's lost so many stars.
He's lost 3
we
guys.
already know
And
that
still winning
the
games.
76ers are going to go ahead because right now Boston is hurt. So let's just go ahead.
I don't know. I like the
They
way
ain't
Rose
playing
is
hurt.
playing.
Boston playing as a team, man.
They
Playing
playing
solid.
hurt.
And they
Put
play
them-
good defense.
Let's put them in there. But
So he's going to the finals.
I look. Book it.
Is he going to
Book
win?
All right.
Is
So
he going to win, Dre?
all right. So we got
No.
Yes.
real quick before we go make our predictions. Wizards fans, I gotta come to y'all. Go ahead, shed a couple tears.
Dang, I wish I had my hat.
Same old.
I wish I had my hat, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be. It's
And
gonna
it
have to be
says
some major.
the
Oh,
best,
snap.
some major
the best assist from a Wizard all year, and that's
Oh, Isaiah, where did the Wizards go from here, man?
We definitely need some changes. So whether that means trading some guys, letting people go. Hopefully, Gortat.
Martin Gortat's the first one. Should be out
Hopefully
the
he
door.
retires and we don't have to make that decision for him. He has to go.
Be like-
Otto Porter.
Be like, oh, Yeller, pull the trigger.
Otto Porter. I mean, he wasn't what I expected, and especially for as much money as we spent, to keep him this year.
Which I did not approve of.
And I was around the trade deadline. I was hoping like, hey, let's try to make a trade for Cousins. This is before he got hurt. And if we got to trade Otto Porter, we got to trade Otto Porter. I think he has to go. We still need help on the bench. Satoransky and Kelly Oubre have helped a bunch, but I mean, other than that, we haven't really gotten any production from the bench. So I mean, there has to be major changes coming up. And maybe even Bill.
Like you said,
Maybe even Bill, because even when John was gone, he didn't step up the way we needed him to, and to become that star that he was somewhat being recognized as.
Look, if Boogie Cousins is on the table,
Trade.
just like for casino, you all chips. If you gotta put the house on it, you do it for somebody of that caliber.
Is it my turn?
Go ahead.
It is.
Go ahead, sir.
Is it my turn?
You look like Stephen A. Smith, by the way, right now. I just
Listen.
want you to know.
The Wizards have.
No, I don't.
He got on him. He said at this point he was.
Listen, it's been going on about 3 years. I've been saying the same things. The 3 Ds that the Wizards have issues: defense, discipline, and depth. It's constant problems. And yes, there do need to be major changes. But we got some money tied up in some folks. I wasn't a fan of paying Bradley Beal at the time, and I wasn't a fan of playing Otto Porter. He's a Georgetown guy. I hate to say it, he's a Georgetown guy. Georgetown guys don't work out. Outside of Patrick Ewing and Allen Iverson.
Alonzo Mourning.
Oh, all right.
And Mutombo.
All right.
Then you got guys like Roy Hibbert.
But see, big and then you got the goofies that balance it out. Georgetown, I guess it's only big men and AI.
And AI, right.
It's big men and AI.
Oh,
If you smaller than 6'10", you're probably not gonna work out. I just don't know what it is. I don't know if it's Scott Brooks. I don't know if it's the lack of depth behind John Wall.
It's one person. It's one person, damn
like
it. Ernie Dunfeld. Ernie Grunfeld.
He's right.
You've been this for decades now.
He's right.
And it's time for you to go.
How is it that he still has a job?
I don't understand how he got that.
Listen, let me tell you something. Him and Bruce Allen have something over their respective organizations. Bruce Allen at the Redskins and Grunfeld at the Wizards. I don't know, through all the goofiness, through all the turmoil, through all the nastiness that we gotta go through as fans, and they still remain. I don't understand. I don't get it.
I can tell you felt that because you just that nasty.
I don't want to defer
right.
off of the NBA for too long, but going to the Bruce Allen thing, technically we don't have a GM.
Oh yeah, we don't actually have.
He was able to sneak
Scott
his
McLean
way
is
and
in
take.
Cleveland, by the way.
He was able to.
Yeah.
Bruce Allen was able to sneak his way back into that position without actually filling the position. That's how goofy and how much finesse he has within that locker room. And Grunfeld, he has to go.
So Ryan commented, and he said that he said it's Scott Brooks. Do y'all agree?
It's been here before.
I think
he has a part in it. I don't think he definitely has a part.
He definitely has his role in it, but Grunfeld has been there
way longer.
Way longer.
And the same goofiness stuff has happened under him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, what did you really expect from Scott Brooks? Because I didn't like that signing either.
To not win anything? That's what I expect.
I'd say I didn't have high expectations. I didn't.
So, with that being said, the Wizards, 1, 2, 3.
Cancun, baby.
Put my hands in for that goofiness.
The season.
Not doing that, man.
You know they was doing it. They was probably
I
at
knew
break.
they was going. Listen, they actually lasted longer than I thought. Because I said the Raptors in 5.
They lasted one more game.
They made it interesting and blew 2 fourth quarter leads.
Yeah, how fitting.
Yeah, so.
They made it interesting because Wizards actually do play pretty well at home in the playoffs. But still can't win a game on the road.
Real quick, I want to touch on one thing. The Thunder, they
Trash.
Get them out of here.
Trash.
Get them out of here.
Trash.
They not trash.
Trash.
They are trash.
They not trash.
Especially
They
Carmelo Anthony.
Hey,
He's big
trash.
trash.
Hey, Rod,
And
come off the bench.
I wish where Mikhail at. Mikhail, if you listen, you better not say nothing about Carmelo
Say
Anthony.
nothing about it.
Hey,
I'm
Rod,
looking for you.
D. Dre, get your Paul George jersey because he in LA tonight.
Yeah, get that shirt off.
Not only did the Thunder have
Okay.
a bad playoff experience this year, you're losing Paul George. He's not staying.
He's out.
And then Carmelo's about to opt in for what?
$28 million.
$28 million
You're
just because
serious.
he's going to get it. And
Serious.
he's going to give you the same type of play. And Westbrook is still, once again, stuck by himself
You know what?
with the goofiness.
I never thought I would see the day that Carmelo Anthony would be done. But he's done. He's done.
He's curtains.
I was telling people that the other day, and they didn't believe me. And it's
It's
like,
over.
his best years are behind
He's
him.
done.
And then he does the same thing.
He don't want to play defense.
Over and over. I
He
mean,
can't-
people
he
talk
had to
about
He's too old to play defense at this point.
People talk
They don't
about
wanna do
Westbrook
anything,
throwing up shots. But goodness, I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
The
Like,
whole series, every time I saw Carmelo put a shot up, it seemed like it was like an air ball
I got
or
scared.
just
I
a
was like,
major
get the ball out of his hand.
and to
Bench
me,
him,
I mean,
please.
to me, Carmelo, there's nothing wrong with coming off the bench at this point in your career. You did it for the Olympics. I don't see why I can't work right now with the rest of your career. Just come off the bench. If you feel like you can still be a prolific scorer, just come off the bench and do it.
Carmelo's
but don't need
about
to be in
steal
that. Don't.
$28 million.
He is, and you know what? I can't even get mad at him.
I have to put this on Westbrook real quick. I'm gonna move on. Got outplayed by Donovan Mitchell.
He did.
yeah.
He
Should
did.
not have happened. You let the fans get in your head.
He did.
And somewhere Kevin Durant is smiling.
Well, he's smiling as the Pelicans going to get blown out again.
But I also got outplayed by Ricky Rubio that one game.
He did. And like Rick Rubio was getting his head.
Man, Rubio hurt.
And then he started talking trash. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna shut all that down." But he had a phenomenal. He had that phenomenal game.
I'm about to say, I mean, he did help and lead that comeback.
Man,
So,
I tell
mean,
you, and it was a valiant
was
effort.
epic.
But man, that series should have been over there.
Isaiah, who you got in the finals real quick before we get this last segment?
I have the Cavs and the Rockets in the finals, and I have the Rockets winning it all.
You're delusional because Steph's coming back. Hopefully by game 3, he's gonna lead them back to the finals.
That's right.
Would you have seen when the Rockets and Warriors have played this year, or what I've seen from it? I think they can give the Warriors a run.
Can they beat them
They
4
can
times in 2
run,
weeks?
but nah, they can't beat him.
Can they guard KD?
They can't beat him 4 times.
Justina asked.
No one
she
can
said.
guard
She
KD.
said, "Will Golden State take it all?"
Yes.
Yes.
No,
Look,
they
when the
will
ball
not.
got tipped off the other night, the whistle blew.
Oh, they got
And
beat
it
like a
was
drum.
wrap.
They beat that Pelican back to a Hornet and back to a Bobcat and back to whatever the heck else it was. Because them Warriors, baby, they didn't come to play.
He went through the whole
Be
history.
respectful.
He went through the whole history. The whole team history. He said Bobcat. I got it. Was that off the top?
Well, that's the Charlotte team, but hey,
was
they
that-
beat him so bad. They
Nah, forget it. No, it's all wrapped up.
They had to move back. They were so bad they moved back. And Michael Jordan repicked Kwame Brown again.
Burn everything. Burn everything. Burn everything at this point. Burn it all.
We're going to have more NBA playoffs next week, but we got to talk something special.
Oh,
Isaiah,
yes.
did you see Infinity War?
No.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to see it tomorrow.
Okay.
and
We won't
guys,
spoil
just
for
sit
you.
out.
I have to
Go
exit. I just want to
go down.
say, everybody on Twitter, you guys are ruining it. I had to mute almost every word or every superhero
Absolutely.
ever involved with Marvel on Twitter, so I don't get it spoiled. But I'm going tomorrow.
Hey, look, as he exits, we're going to bring Uncle Raj. Karante, tell your story as how you ended up at the premiere.
how you-
Okay, so
at the
all right,
premiere, bro.
all right. So I told y'all I don't like crowds and all that goofiness, but we had the show on Monday.
That's
It had to be either Tuesday night or Wednesday. My my roommate hit me, was like, "Yo, I got these extra tickets. I got these extra tickets for Thursday night at 10:45 because I'm not gonna be able to make it." And gave it to me and my other homeboy, and I was like,
Lucky devil.
"What?" It fell in my lap. It's like Bradley Chubb going to the Denver Broncos.
Yo, wow.
It fell in my lap, and I was like, "Wow." I was talking all that smack, and I went before all of y'all.
You did. Uncle Raj, we was in the theater.
Hey, man.
This man was laughing the whole time. This man was laughing the whole time.
They know Strowman, man.
Hey, man. Thanos was giving
Thanos
out.
Lesnar, that's what I call it.
Thanos was giving out ass whoopings all over that film.
Butt whipping, sir.
He was
It's a
giving
family
out.
show, butt whipping.
Hey, he was giving them out.
I
Okay?
loved it.
He was
It's a
giving
family
out butt whoopings all over the show.
man.
I loved every minute of it. But I always got one thing. I got one thing to say about Infinity War, man. If y'all haven't seen it, go see it.
See it twice.
Go see it.
If you've
twice,
seen
see
it, comment
3
on
times.
why
Yeah,
we're
comment
talking
right
about
now.
Oh wait a minute. Ryan said that it was fire.
Thank you, it was.
Let me say it should have been changed to the Avengers get these hands.
Because he was handing them out.
So bad.
He was handing them out.
Hulk said, "Nah, I want none of this." Nah.
Hulk got whooped. You know what? I'm not even gonna.
Hulk got whipped in the beginning. He's like, "I ain't coming back out no more."
Ryan
ain't won no
has Raptors Warriors in the finals. Hey, with Drake, anything's possible, Ryan.
Hey.
Don't
Except
give
for
up the
that.
faith.
Except for that.
Jurassic Park will be lit tomorrow night, and Bron will come in there tied.
Yes.
But D, you saw it today.
I did see it today. What an amazing story that movie told. And folks, listen, they're gonna be back, okay?
Yeah, spoiler.
Evil will win, but it rarely conquers. They'll be back.
But
For now.
But they did.
Beginning.
But they. Hey, but guess what?
That was lit.
They were
That was
deleted. Yeah. Yeah.
Drake.
The Infinity War was the magnificent thing of the world. And they was deleted. Uncle Raj.
One more quick one, though. One more quick one.
Oh boy.
The Soul Stone. Y'all seen the end of that movie? What happened with Thanos? Never do that. Never sell your soul, baby. Never do it.
Oh, Dre.
Riles says he said the Hulk was horrible, and he said the Vision was horrible too. I mean, to me, it's a unique story and how they ended the Infinity War. I definitely loved it. Thanos is up there with Killmonger, man. I just love how just dishing them out, baby. Just anytime people get his hands,
Killmonger, man.
I love it.
And it broke the record for best opening weekend.
So we got Thanos, Joker, Killmonger, best villains out
because
here.
I mean, when you can dish out ass whoopers and then laugh about it,
but had him scrambling. Like, what are we gonna do?
Right.
And I mean. Valiant effort, they tried.
No. It's Star-Lord's fault. Let's keep it real. It's Star-Lord's fault. He let his emotions.
We're not
For what?
For a woman.
All right. We want to
a
thank
green-looking woman at that.
our boy Isiah for joining us.
Still look good.
Give it up for Isiah, y'all.
She looks great, especially
Shout out to Zoe Zidana. Give it up to Bruce Prichard. Shout out to D.
Yeah.
You know.
Big ups.
Cravante, Raj, Dre. Always a pleasure. Till next week, we'll be talking NBA playoffs mainly because it's revving up. Conference finals are upon us soon.
No Triple G and Canelo because of that foolishness. Glad you, Canelo.
So who Triple G fighting?
Some guy.
Some no name.
Tomato can.
Oh boy.
Get beat.
Soup can.
Beat like a drum.
Dang.
Keep up with us Twitter, Instagram at the Flex on One. Go to our Twitter poll. Who had the best draft?
Twitter.
Ravens, Browns. Who else we got? Browns, Washington, Redskins, Giants. Whoever you think. Comment. And appreciate you watching, commenting. Pretty lit show as always. And until next time. We gone.
Peace.
Be a witness, everybody. We already know. We going to the finals, man.
Ravens, baby.
They're not going to the finals.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.